Is there intelligent alien life? And if so, has the government been covering it up?
What's going on, everyone? Thank you for stopping by tonight. I got Steezo for Life and King Chris. So I did a video a few nights ago about these orbs, and I didn't realize at the time, but it was fresh of that day. There was a Senate hearing apparently, and when I recorded that video, the post didn't kind of fill me in on where that was. And I didn't even know where to start researching when it happened or where it happened. And that's because it was quite literally fresh of that day. So now, after it's been about 24 to 48 hours, we have a little bit more information. And let me go ahead and present this with all of you. So this was a Senate hearing with Jon Kosloski, who is the new AARO director. And I find it pretty interesting what he has to say. But I do have a level of skepticism, being that he is in the government right now. So is he being told what to say, or, is he giving out disinformation? I think there's a similarity between him and Elizondo, our good boy,
Lion Lou.
Yeah. Lion Lou.
Did you say this dude was the head of AARO?
Yeah, he is the new head of AARO.
Didn't AARO, aren't they the ones that just put out the bullshit report saying that they found nothing?
Well, and
there was nothing.
This is going to segue into it.
Oh, okay,
exactly.
Right,
so we're going to play this one first, and then Steezo provided something for us to go over right after. So I'm going to go ahead and press play. I'm starting the video about halfway through because the last video I did covers the first portion, which was the orbs. And now this is a kind of the second and third scenario that he wanted to bring up.
East U.S. There was a U.S. facility where 2 cars of government contractors were leaving the facility around 9 o'clock in the morning. They looked up in the sky and saw a large metallic cylinder about the size of a commercial airplane, and it was stationary. They observed that there was a very bright white light behind or around the object. They saw it stationary for 15 to 20 seconds, and then it disappeared. Obviously, an object that large, stationary, unless it's a blimp, is unusual, but then disappearing, we can't explain how that would happen. And then the last case was interesting. We had a aircraft that was flying parallel to another aircraft, and it was capturing imagery of it, and a small looking object appeared to fly between the 2 of them much faster than them. Through very careful analysis, we think that the object might have actually been further away than the object that it was videotaping, but it requires very careful analysis to come to those conclusions, and we don't have the metadata to support that yet.
So again, he didn't really say much in that. I kind of want to just kick it off and, provide the guy's name who is speaking at the Senate hearing. I'd like to know your guys' opinion, first of all, on what he had just said there, and then if you had even heard about the Senate hearing, because it happened yesterday on Tuesday, and or Tuesday the 19th for those who are watching this later on. What do you guys think about this?
I had no idea about the hearing, but the large cylinder ship in the sky, stationary and then disappearing, is pretty crazy.
And it's nothing out of the norm. It's kind of ironic to say that, but it's nothing out of the norm if you follow this stuff. Like, that sounded pretty
that one's a little bit more compelling than the other one, where the 2 planes are flying, watching each other, and like a little drone or whatever might fly through between them. I think they've put that footage out there. I think I've seen pictures of that.
Well, it sounded a little bit to me like Dave Fravor's story. I don't know if they're rehashing it, but it did sound similar to that and the Tic Tac.
Did he say the type of aircraft that it was?
Nah, he didn't say it in that little clip.
Yes, it's kind of interesting. I'm surprised it was as under the radar as it was. I didn't hear anything about it.
Well, and your thought, yeah, that, and you're referring to the Senate hearing itself, right?
Yeah.
Which is the kind of main point I wanted to bring this up, is because it was I had no idea there were. I'm normally on this shit. Like the second there
Right.
was a Congress, I mean, all of us were. The second we knew there was going to be a Congress hearing, we were ready for it. And this one kind of just came up out of the blue, which actually adds a level of trust for me. Like, okay, so they're trying to throw this one under the bus, like, or under the rug, rather, right? Like why? Steezo, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. So I knew that a couple months ago, I knew there was going to be a House hearing and a Senate hearing, and they were going to take place within I thought it was like more than just the following week. But the one that got hyped was the House one, because that was the one that was going to have the big names back to witnesses. The Senate, they're kind of doing their own. The cool, like you said, it's checks and balances, right? That's how our government's supposed to work. Senate's kind of doing their own independent investigation, calling their own people that they want to talk to, even though it's on the same subject, but they're looking at a different angle. Whereas the House is looking at it from kind of the macro point of view, and the Senate's looking at it from like, okay, we're going to talk to agency people in the government, like right now. Not going to talk to whistleblowers. We're not going to talk to like these other people. We're going to talk to people that we can basically fund. So if you're not telling us the truth, bye funding, right?
Right.
Because the Senate has oversight all over these government groups. Like they decide how much money AARO is going to get and how much. That's what they do. That's what the Senate does. So yeah, it didn't get as much hype, but I was aware it was going to happen. I didn't realize it was going to happen though, like this week. They didn't really say the date on it, and so it kind of caught me off guard. And then I didn't notice it happen until he posted that thing with the video we just watched, and then I was like, oh, I need to get caught up on that. So I watched most of it yesterday, but it was way different. It was it's more of a macro thing, like, but it's not as interesting as like individual events. As specifics, they're trying to get down to the bottom of it, but it's way different.
It felt different. Like the one from the other day was like a big party publicity show, and this one feels a lot more grounded and like straight to the point.
Which is why I believe it a little bit more, or at least the guy. I don't know about the
lack of publicity is promising.
Yeah, the problem with these things is that it's hard to trust the individual people, and you kind of have to do your own vetting of the situation.
That's why I think people like Schellenberger, people like him, those are the type of people that we need opposed to the people that are from the fucking government, like ex-CIA people, because he doesn't have any skin in the game. He's just a journalist that's, breaking these stories, and he's not some ex-fucking CIA agent.
And not only that, the skin in the game that he does have is for the American people.
Right.
And the deserving that we are deserving of knowing.
Right.
If the government is hiding something from us.
Actual respectable journalism.
Yeah. And this next thing I have pulled up here, ignore what's on the screen right now. It's
a bunch of liberals.
Yeah. This is John referring to the Go Fast. I tried to quickly look to see if I always thought the Go Fast video was Dave Fravor. That's not the case.
He's the Tic Tac.
Yeah, he's Tic Tac. Go Fast is another. It's that other.
Is it Ryan Graves?
I think it's Ryan Graves. So apparently, and Steezo, you provided this for us. Apparently, this is them trying to debunk it.
They said they figured it out. They I guess you could say debunked, but they said they can explain the Go Fast video. And
who said that?
The AARO, the guy.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh shit. Wow.
Yeah. Jon Kosloski says it right here in the same hearing. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it, and we can kind of listen to what he has to say about it.
captured the public attention and congressional attention when it was made public in 2017. Looks like an object flying very fast over the water, very close to the water. Through a very careful geospatial intelligence analysis using trigonometry, we assess with high confidence that the object is not actually close to the water, but is rather closer to 13,000 feet. Diagram here shows as the platform is flying and capturing the object, if it is closer to the platform at a higher altitude, a trick of the eye called parallax makes it look like the object is moving much faster. And so we've written a detailed paper on parallax, released that on our website so that the public can literally check our math on this analysis.
So we might do a follow-up to this, a follow-up to a follow-up, kind of going into that document that they explained is up on their website. If it's free to the public, we should kind of look into it as a group, us three. But one thing I want to say is if Go Fast is what was the pilot's name?
Graves.
If it's Ryan Graves, if it's the same, that conflicts if it's the same phenomenon, because he basically said that he saw the thing, right? Like he saw it flying like next to his jet, moved off, and I kind of want to dig into that a little bit more and see if from what I remember, if I'm not confusing the two stories between Graves and Fravor.
Well, I think he was at the hearing that the same one Fravor was at. I think he was at that same one.
Yeah, he spoke, him and David Grush.
Yeah.
And they all spoke together.
Yeah, I mean, look,
because they've tried to say the same story about the Tic Tac and shit like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's I don't know.
And the gimbal video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of the hard part about this stuff. Like, I don't have a conspiracy map behind me with Post-it notes and strings linked to each Tic Tac, right? But you kind of some of them start to kind of blend in with each other, and that's what I think is kind of happening here with this one. I actually don't think anything was really explained in that.
So did they just release this supposedly debunking information that they?
This was as of yesterday.
Yeah, this was yesterday.
And which is why I think we should do a part 3 of this kind of hearing and kind of break down the document that he said to our best ability. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of different, trigonometry and physics that we don't understand. But
that's the whole point, is to confuse us, because most people be like, "What trigonometry? I'm not going to look any further." You said so. Okay, the government said it's not real. I'm good. But I just don't. There's something about it that rubs me the wrong way. Like,
when did AARO release that report saying that they had found no proof that there was any UFOs or anything like that?
As far as I understand, Chris,
when was that?
This was yesterday that they even released that.
Oh, you mean the report where they said that they did?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was I want to say a month ago, 2 months ago. Before they released that report before the House thing, because they said before that happened, they came out and said, "Oh, they gave it to the Senate, but it hadn't been publicly released until they publicly released it when they did that hearing last week." And that's when they were just sitting there. You saw them shaking their heads, like Lyle, like Elizondo, all those guys, when they basically said that. Basically, what they were trying to say is that report was calling them all full of shit.
Okay.
So that literally had been given to Congress like 2 months ago, but they basically said, "Hey, here's our AARO report. We're now releasing this to the public for the first time," and they did it during the hearing.
Okay, and basically saying that they have no evidence. They
No
found
evidence.
nothing. That's
yes.
And these are this people with this info, this brand new info from yesterday. That's the same AARO.
Yep.
Okay, I'm just trying to connect. I'm just trying to connect the dots and the lines. You know what I mean?
No, smart.
It almost seems to me like that.
Seems like they would have some interest in furthering that narrative. You know what I mean?
I just feel like AARO's basically the new Project Blue Book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To debunk everything. Like they're basically saying, "Oh, we're just going to come back out and say none of this shit's real again."
Dude.
Yeah,
It's
and
fucking wild. It's fucking wild. I get to the point where I can't, if I see any connection to the fucking government with any of these people, it's like fucking instant loss of credibility.
well, and we're all kind of like that now, you know, especially with the last hearing, and that's why I got so annoyed with just Twitter, because everyone was, you know, all of our feeds are filled with UFO stuff, and everyone was like clipping Elizondo, and no, like Michael Schellenberger didn't get any love for that hearing, and
Dude, when he
he's
was
the one guy
literally
that was the most
best one.
trustworthy out of it
Right.
all.
I
Had
had
something to back it up, and if he didn't, he said, "I don't know." And like that integrity goes a long way when it comes to this
Fuck
stuff.
yeah, dude. That's the only saving grace to most of this shit, man. If
Well,
there's no integrity, or if it fit, the idea of the subject alone is already fucking loopy, and people discredit it as soon as they hear the
and
word
that's what I'm saying.
UFO.
If you're a smooth brain and you just eat up all this stuff, and there's flat Earth and reptilians are running around, you know, that's one thing. Like, you know, that's a whole other person than what
Right.
what we try to be, and where
Yeah.
we're asking questions and trying to actually like
What the
solve.
fuck is the government hiding from us? There's something out there. What the fuck is it? Yeah.
And I didn't mean to step on any of your toes if you guys are reptilian believers.
No, no.
Hard hat reptiles.
That's a whole nother video.
Yeah, I'm
That's
sorry to
nother
say,
video.
yeah. Hillary Clinton's probably a human, but you
that's a
never
whole
know at
nother
the end of the
video.
day. But listen, guys, thank you for showing up tonight. You know, we're gonna kind of leave it here for now. We'll probably pick this up with you know, eventually we'll get that document, kind of go through it, and then maybe present and do another video. But thank you, Steezo. Thank you, Chris. And we will see all you on the next video.
Later.
Good. Later.